Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully, day 2 of e-learning is nice and smooth, and hopefully, yesterday wasn't too big of a deal. If you have any questions or concerns about videos your teachers are posting or the assignments, all you have to do is just let us know. Okay, if we don't hear anything, we assume everything's fine. So if you're having issues or you're struggling, please just let us know. We're literally waiting by our computer screen to hear from you. So message us, say hi. We miss you a lot. So hopefully day 2 of e-learning like today is going to be just fine for you. Yesterday we talked about translations, when you take a figure on a coordinate plane and you slide it. Today we're going to talk about reflections when we flip a figure on a coordinate plane. Now we did this Friday before the weekend and before you guys left us for a few weeks. So this you'll probably need some review because I bet after we learned it and then all the craziness happened, your brain might have gone a little bit blank. So this you'll probably need a little bit more review than you did with translations. What was going to happen, I'm going to go over some key points. We're going to do some practice problems, and then I'll talk about your Wednesday assignment. Don't forget that problem solving number 3 is due Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Okay? Your objectives, you've got 3 of them today. Number 1, you can identify reflections on the coordinate plane. So you can look at a figure and you can see like, yes, this one flipped, it reflected, or no, this one slid. You can actually reflect a figure yourself across a line of reflection, and you can look at a reflection that took place and say, all right, it flipped over the x-axis or it flipped over the y-axis. So you can identify what that line of translation actually is, or sorry, line of reflection. All right. So a reflection is a flip. So when we think about like, all right, we're performing a reflection, you guys are thinking about a flip on the coordinate plane. We always map our pre-image to our image. So if you're looking on the screen, image number 1, that's your pre-image. And you know because it's just ABC. It flips though. And when it flips, it becomes your image. And you can tell that that's your image because it's A prime, B prime, and C prime. That's nothing new. We talked about that a lot yesterday. So just make sure you're paying attention to the lettering. Very popular lines of reflection are your x-axis, meaning if your figure was here, it would flip over your x. Or if it was here, it would flip over your y. Okay, so here's your x-axis. Look at my cursor on the screen. Here's your y-axis. It can also flip over lines like x equals 1, y equals 3. We talked about that briefly on Friday, so I'm going to use most of today to kind of talk about what would those lines look like and then how do you reflect over them. So here we are. Look at the 2 images on the screen. Let's start with this one on the left. Does this show a reflection? So if you need to pause it and look at it, do that. If I'm looking this, I know that my white rectangle is my pre-image because it's PQRS. This one is my actual image because it's got P prime, Q prime, S prime. This is a reflection over your y-axis. It flipped over your y-axis, and you know that it's a true reflection because Q is 2 away and Q prime is 2 away. Remember that when we reflect, it has to be the equal distance from that line of reflection. If you look over at your white image though, that hopefully you could see right away, that didn't just flip, that also turned. A turn is called a rotation. So that is not a reflection. That is a rotation. So you would say, nope, not a reflection. Here's your first example. So after I kind of talk about this, you might want to pause the video and then you can even use your finger on the screen. You can just visually look at it to see, all right, you're looking at triangle ABC. How would it look if you reflected over the x-axis? So remember, this is your x-axis right here. How would it look? So go ahead and pause the video, take a try. So if you're looking at it, this is how it would look. This is my x-axis here. I see that A is 1, 2, 3 away. So A prime will be 1, 2, 3 away here. I see that B is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So when you flip it over the x-axis, it's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4 away here. Remember, every single point is equidistant from that line of reflection. Green is our pre-image, blue is our image. If I asked you to, oops, sorry for that thing at the top of the screen. If I asked you to flip your green figure over the line x equals 1, that's a line that you have to draw in. So on your coordinate plane, you say, all right, I know x equals 1 is right here. That's where it is. Look at my cursor. All you have to do is draw a vertical line going up and down, and that's your new line of reflection. So if I was reflecting this, I would say, all right, I know that D is one away, so it's got to be one away over here. I know that A is one away, so I know it has to be one away here. Look at how it looks on my screen. D is one away, D prime is one away. A is one away, A prime is one away. For B, I see it's 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So I go back to my line and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 away here. So if you're given a line like x equals 1, just find where x equals 1 on your coordinate plane and drop a vertical line. Example 3, though, is a little bit different. Now it's saying that you need to reflect ABCD over the line y equals 1. So go to your y-axis, find where y equals 1, and this you're going to drop a horizontal line. Okay, that's your new line of reflection. You want to flip your green box over the line y equals 1. And again, if you want to pause it quickly to do that, it'll be helpful for you. So A is 1 away, A prime should be 1 away. B is 1 away, B prime should be 1 away. C is 1, 2, 3, 4 away, so C prime should be 1, 2, 3, 4 away. They're equidistant. This is kind of how it looks, you guys. So notice my letters flipped all the way down, equidistant from my line. If you need to pause it and look at it, please do that. The next skill that's great for you to have, especially when you're thinking about high school geometry, is if you see a reflection on the screen or on your, in front of you, can you tell me what line it reflected over? So if we're starting on the left here, I see this little guy here, okay, this 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrilateral flipped into my red one. It flipped over the y-axis, and you can prove that. All right, I see H is 2, I see H is 2 away, H prime is 2 away. I see Q is 1, 2 away, Q prime is 2 away. So the two figures are equidistant from the line. So these flipped over your y-axis. Hopefully here, and I think we actually used this one in class together, we know that these flipped over your x-axis. This guy's 1 away, this guy's 1 away, 1 away, 1 away. This point right here is 1, 2, 3 away. This point down here is 1, 2, 3 away. So they flipped over the x-axis. These actually have two reflections inside of there. If I'm looking at the white and the green triangle, we can easily see the line that's in the middle of them. Okay, it's right here. You guys can kind of see it's symmetrical. That line would be x equals 2. That's one that you yourself would draw in the coordinate plane. That's x equals 2. Okay, so that's what we were kind of looking at right there. Don't worry about the purple one. If you were to actually draw that in, this is kind of a challenge for you guys. You see how you got your white and you see how you have your purple. The line that's right in the middle of them is actually x equals 1.5 because it's halfway between 1 and 2. So that one's a challenge, but if you can kind of understand that, then that's excellent because these are both, it's between 1 and 2, x equals 1.5, right in the middle of there. Okay, so here's your Wednesday assignment. Pretty simple, very similar to yesterday. You have a Pearson online lesson quiz. It's called Reflections Lesson Quiz 31820. A good idea for you is to keep this diagram up while you're doing that quiz. Let me explain what the diagram looks like. It tells you the different components of the graph and the different lines of reflection. So your yellow line here is your x-axis. So if you see figures flipping over that, that's your x-axis. Purple line is your y-axis. Okay, a lot of times you'll have figures flip over there, that's your y. If you've got lines that you have to draw in, like special ones, if they're horizontal, like this orange one, that's like y equals -2, because it runs through where y equals -2. If you see a vertical one, that would be, x equals -4, because it runs through where x is -4. So while you're doing your lesson quiz, keep this diagram up. It's going to help you. Okay, it's labeled. And don't forget, problem solving number 3 is due by 11:59 tomorrow night. Okay, so I know I just threw a lot at you. If it helps, go back, rewatch the video, pause where you need to. But the most important thing, number 1, Pearson lesson quiz reflections, 31820, submit by 9 o'clock tonight. Problem solving number 3, due by 11:59 tomorrow night. I'm actually going to show you a new thing tomorrow, a different online website that we're going to use for our practice for equations. And I think that's it. Okay, you guys have a wonderful day. Wash your hands. Send me a message if you're bored. Miss you guys so much. Hey, you're doing a great job. Keep it up.